Hi guys, I think I'm live now. Please go to cracku.in/live. Sorry for the delay, I was stuck in traffic. So please go to cracku.in/live. We'll be having 10 questions today. I also wanted to tell you that we'll be having a complete quant revision. This will be a marathon, this will be a 5-hour session. This upcoming Saturday, that is on November 16th. So I'm looking forward to all of you joining us on November 16th. It will go on from 2 p.m. to 7 p.m. It is a complete quant revision, so I'll really look forward to having you all there. For today's session, please go to cracku.in/live. And the first question will be on your screen. There will be 10 questions today. Each question will have 150 seconds. That is 2.5 minutes. Please like the stream, guys. I want to get to at least 200 likes before the stream ends. Even if you're feeling, Abhinav is saying, sir, last few weeks I was focusing on arithmetic, so and now I'm feeling like I'm losing my grip on algebra. So I think it is okay. Don't worry about it. I think maybe it is just panic. That is, Mridul Gupta is saying, sir, it is saying restricted access. Okay, we'll look at that. What do you mean by restricted access? If you can go to cracku.in/live, are you able to see it or not? If you go to cracku.in/live, what exactly are you seeing? Okay, can you guys just refresh it now? If you refresh it, you should be able to see it. Many people were having some restricted access. Just refresh it, you should be able to see it now. Okay, so let us try to answer this question. In this question, we are told that there is a square field and each side is 500 meters long. So it is something like this. And one of the corners was cut off. It was cut off like this. Basically, there is a square field like this. From the square field, one of the corners was cut off, something like this. The compound wall and the fence will form borders. The length of the fence is 100 meters. This we are told is 100 meters. Now, if this is 100 meters, what is the maximum area in square meters that can be cordoned off? If this is A and if this is B, the area of the triangle or whatever is being cordoned off is half AB. What we know is that A square plus B square is equal to 100 square. In that particular case, we know that A square plus B square divided by 2 is always greater than or equal to AB. This is the arithmetic mean is greater than or equal to geometric mean. This would imply that AB, which is the product of A and B or twice the area of the triangle, AB is always less than or equal to 100 square is 10,000, 5,000, because AB will be less than or equal to A square plus B square by 2. And the area of the fence which is being cordoned off, which is half AB, will be always less than or equal to 2,500. So the maximum area that can be cordoned off is 2,500. This will basically happen when A is equal to B and both of them have to be equal to 50 root 2. Let us look at the next question. In the meantime, I will answer some questions that you might have. Please do like the stream, guys. We have more than 100 people who are watching the stream live and we have only 35 likes. Let us at least target 200 likes before the stream ends. Sir, is it okay if algebra is not my priority first, but rather geometry and number system after arithmetic? I think that is okay. I would just say number system is not super important. Geometry is important. So focus on arithmetic and geometry and try to learn the basics of algebra. That won't hurt. Ajay is saying, sir, I'm able to solve 12 to 14 questions after the mock easily in Quant, but only able to do 7 to 18 mock. Please suggest the best attempt strategy. One thing which is important is you should never get stuck in any question just because you feel that you can solve it or you feel egotistic that I have to solve it. Be very ruthless about leaving questions and going to the next question if you are stuck in any question. Even if it is a simple question but the idea is not striking you. Sometimes it happens even to me where it is not a very difficult question but for some reason I'm not able to solve it. I feel that if I just spend some more time I'll be able to solve it. But in those kind of situations I always go to the next question and I come back to this particular question later on. Karan Kasliwal is saying, sir, my marks are suddenly dropping in quants. I think that is a very common thing. When CAT is just 1-2 weeks away, I hear this very often, where people say that normally I'm scoring around 70, but suddenly in the last 2 mocks I'm scoring in my 40s. Where I feel it is just your panic, so don't worry about it. This is a very common phenomena. Just try to be calm and composed. Don't get worked up. We have uploaded 2 very important videos. I hope that you have at least bookmarked both of those videos. One is the 25 LRDI sets that I would highly recommend you to watch. This we have uploaded on YouTube just a few days back. And the other one is the 100 most important quant questions. These 2 I think are the most important YouTube videos that I would want you to watch. In addition to it, we are going to upload 100 most important verbal questions also. That we'll upload probably in the next few days. So definitely watch out for it. In this question, we are told that the difference between the area of the circumscribed circle and the area of the inscribed circle of an equilateral triangle is 2156 square centimeters. What is the area of the equilateral triangle? So we have an equilateral triangle like this. Suppose this is the circumcircle. This is the equilateral triangle inside which is inside the circumcircle. Now inside this triangle we have an incircle which is like this. This is the incircle, this is the equilateral triangle and this is the circumcircle. Now what we know is that if the side of an equilateral triangle is say small a, if this is small a, if this is small a and if this is small a, what is the radius of the circumcircle? That is, what is the circumradius of an equilateral triangle? That will be a divided by root 3. What is the radius of the incircle? That is, what is the in radius of a equilateral triangle? That will be for an equilateral triangle exactly half of the circumradius. That will be a divided by 2 root 3. So what is the area of the circle of the circumcircle? That is pi a square divided by 3. And what is the area of the incircle? That will be pi a square by 12. The difference between these two we are told is 2156, or pi a square by 4 is equal to 2156, Pi is 22 by 7. So 22 by 7 into a square by 4 is equal to 2156. 2156 divided by 22 is 98. So a square by 4 is equal to 98 into 7, which is equal to 686. What are we required to calculate? We are required to calculate the area of the equilateral triangle. For an equilateral triangle of side A, the area of the equilateral triangle is root 3 by 4 into a square. But we know that a square by 4 is 686. So the area of the equilateral triangle is root 3 into that, which is 686 root 3. So the answer for this question is option A. Let us look at the next question. Pragyan Sharma is saying completing Cracku's 25 LRD assets now. Great questions. Thanks a lot, Pragyan. They'll be very, very useful for you. Ansi Varghese is saying, I'm really missing out on easy DLR. I think I'm having issues in selecting the right set. What should my strategy for it? My strategy is I spend the first 2 minutes of the LRDA section in going through all the 4 sets. Because I feel that if I invest 30 seconds to 1 minute going through all the 4 sets and trying to get a good assessment of the difficulty, it will help me quite a lot. And then I make the priority order, where I just don't select the easiest set. I'll try to select the easiest set, but in addition to it, I also try to figure out what is the next set that I should answer, what is the third set I should answer, what is the fourth set I should answer. Once I have this priority queue, so to say, I start attempting the easiest set. If I'm lucky and if I pick the right set, where if I'm able to assess its difficulty level accurately, I'll get it correct in the first 10 to 12 minutes, which is fantastic. If that doesn't happen, if after 6 minutes, I feel that, okay, this set is probably I'm making some, I'm progressing, but I'm not progressing sufficiently, then I would ignore it and I go to the next set in my priority order. The whole point is I keep telling myself I need to get 2 LRDA sets correct and then I'll be having a fantastic section. I don't need to get all the 4 sets correct. I need to get 2 sets correct. Now with that mindset, every set I have 20 minutes. I don't have 10 minutes or I don't have 8 minutes. And in the worst case scenario, even if I get 1 set correct, that also is fine. So I would recommend you also to have that kind of a mindset where you feel that there are 4 sets. This is the priority order. This is the easiest. This is the second easiest. And based on it, you actually attempt the questions. This session will be for around an hour. Somebody is asking how to memorize geometry formulas. Ankit Tiwari is asking. I'm having difficulty to remember it. Please suggest how to remember it better. Okay. I would actually tell you to not by heart the formulas because you should know how to apply the formulas. Otherwise, you will never remember the formulas on your own. So once you read a formula, you should also try to at least solve 1 or 2 questions from the formula. Only then will you actually be able to remember them. Yeah, man, I was a computer science engineer back in the day. So I think like a programmer. In this diagram, we are told that CD is equal to BF is equal to 10 units. So CD is 10 units, BF is 10 units, okay. CAD is equal to BEF is equal to 30 degrees. So CAD is 30 degrees and BAF, this also is 30 degrees. We are required to calculate the area of triangle AAD. Now, if you are just looking at triangle CAD, if this is E, this is D and this is C, we know that this is 30 degrees, this is given to us and we are told that this is 10 units. So, you can easily calculate the value of ED. CD divided by ED is equal to tan 30 degrees. And what is the value of tan 30? That is 1 by root 3. So, the value of CD is equal to 10 by root 3. So, this is ED, sorry, this is ED. CD we already know is 10 units. So, this is 10, sorry, ED will be 10 root 3. So, this is 10 root 3 units. So, we got ED. To calculate the area of AED, we need the length of ED, we need the length of AD. Those are the only 2 things we need. And if you are looking at AD, we know the value of CD, we know the length of CD. We just need to calculate the length of AC. And to calculate the length of AC, we'll calculate the length of AB and we'll calculate the length of BC. Essentially what we'll do is, this is A, this is F, this is C, and this over here is B. This is A, this is B, this is F, and this is C. This we are told is 10 units. And this angle over here is 30 degrees. So again we can calculate the length of AB. How can we calculate the length of AB? Because FB divided by AB is equal to tan 30 degrees. This is 30 degrees, which is tan A, which is opposite side FB divided by adjacent side AB. Or the length of AB will be equal to 10 root 3 units. So this is 10 root 3 units. Now how can we calculate the length of BC? To calculate the length of BC, figure out that this is 60 degrees. Because in this triangle CED, one of the angles is 30 degrees, other one is a right angle. So angle C over here will be 60 degrees. This is what we are saying. So the opposite angle over here, this also will be 60 degrees. This would imply that angle BFC will be 30 degrees. We are saying that this is 60 degrees, this is 90 degrees, so this will be 30 degrees. So now if you are looking at angle F, this angle, what is the opposite side? It is BC. What is the adjacent side? It is BF. This has to equal tan 30 degrees, which is again equal to 1 by root 3. So BC will be equal to 10 by root 3. So this is 10 by root 3. So overall, if you are looking at AD, this side AD, it is equal to AB, that is this one, plus BC, that is this one, plus CD, that is this one. AB is 10 root 3. BC is 10 by root 3. And CD is 10 units. Therefore, the area of the triangle AED is half into AD into ED. This is AD, this is ED. The triangle will look something like this. This is D, this is A, and this is E. ED we calculated is 10 root 3. ED is somewhere over here, it is 10 root 3. AD we just calculated, it is equal to 10 root 3 plus 10 by root 3 plus 10. So the area of this triangle, because this is a right angle triangle, will be half into base into height, which is equal to half into 10 root 3 into 10 into root 3 plus 1 by root 3 plus 1. This is equal to 50 into 3 plus 1 plus root 3, which is equal to 50 into root 3 plus 4. So the answer for this question will be option D. Let us look at the next question. Namaste Dharam. Sir, in geometry I am attempting working on triangles, however I want to finish circles. Okay. I know that during the last few days it is recommended to not learn something. I just want to know if a part like circles is a good plan or should I drop it. I think it's a good plan. I think it's an important topic. Spend some time on learning circles. It is not a bad idea. It is not very difficult if you know some of the formulas, like say alternate segment theorem. If you know the formulas like say tangent secant formulae, those will be useful. So it is not at all a bad idea. Abhinav Srivastava, going abroad requires a lot of money, man. It is not free, no. All these Ivy Leagues that you hear about, they are very expensive. Shreya Srivastava is asking what to do in the last fortnight. In the last fortnight, I want you to solve as many questions as you can. Focus on solving and actively solving, I think is very good. Guys, please do like this stream, guys. Not good in solving geometry questions. Should I focus more on arithmetic and algebra? Or should I cover geometry? I think cover the basics of geometry. At least the important topics like triangles and circles. Try to cover the basics. You need not be very good at it, but if a very simple question comes, you should be able to answer it. So in this question, let us assume that the radius of the circle is say r. If this is the center, this will be r, this will be r, and this also will be r. The center is O, if the radius is r, this is r, this is r, and this also is r. Now if you're drawing a perpendicular from A to this line over here, and if you're drawing a perpendicular from A to this point, if you assume that this is B and this is C, and this point over here is D and this point over here is E, what we know is that the sides of the rectangle are known. One side is 20 units, another side is 10 units, 10 centimeters. So if you're looking at this triangle, this rectangle, this is O, it will be something like this. We are just removing the circle just to avoid any confusion. This is the rectangle, this is O, this is B, this is C. This is actually a square, not a rectangle. OB is equal to R, this is equal to R. OC is equal to R, this is equal to R. So far, so good. Now this is the point A over here. Now because A lies on the circle, like we discussed earlier, OA is also equal to R. This also is R. That also is fine. Now what we know is that this side is 20 centimeters. That is the side of a rectangle. This is 20 centimeters. So this would imply that if you are drawing a perpendicular from A to OB, if this is meeting it at E, over here E, this will be 20 centimeters. So the length of OE will be R minus 20. Similarly, the other side of the rectangle over here is 10 centimeters. I know this is difficult to read, but you can understand what I am exactly saying. Now if you draw a perpendicular from A to OC, and if this is meeting at D, say if this is D, CD also will be 10 centimeters. Therefore OD will be, this one will be R minus 10. That is, this is R minus 10. So if you're looking at the triangle, the right angle triangle, OAE, this is O, this is A over here, and this is E. OA is R. What is AE? AE is equal to R minus 10. This is R minus 10. And what is OE? That is R minus 20. This is a right angle triangle. Now we can use the Pythagoras theorem. So R minus 10 whole square plus R minus 20 whole square is equal to R square, or R square minus 20R plus 100 plus R square minus 40R plus 400 is equal to R square. You can cancel R square on both sides. We are essentially going to get R square minus 60R plus 500 is equal to 0. This is R minus 50 into R minus 10 is equal to 0. So the value of the radius is either 10 centimeters or R is equal to 50. We are talking about R minus 20, R minus 10. So the value of R has to be greater than 20. So R cannot be 10. So the value of the radius is 50 centimeters, which is option C. Let us look at the next question. Kushi Agarwal is saying, what is the level of this question? I think this is a difficult question. I don't think this is an easy question. Ankit Tiwari is saying, I'm doing one sectional every day in Quant, iler and VRC. Every day, is it good or should I focus more on mocks in these 12 days? I think you can do whatever suits you. Just solve as many questions as you can. Try to take at least 3 to 5 mocks in the remaining time. Shantanu, try to solve previous year's LRDIs and daily targets. That I think is the good source for LRDIs, especially in the last few days. In this question, we are told that the length of the common chord of two circles whose radius is 15 centimeters and 20 centimeters, whose centers are 25 centimeters apart is. So let us draw two circles. Let us assume that this is one circle, and let us assume that there is slightly bigger circle over here. This is the other bigger circle. Now this radius is 15 centimeters. If this is the center is 25 centimeters apart, and this is the second radius, which is 20 centimeters. So this is 15 centimeters, this is 20 centimeters, and the distance between the centers is 25 centimeters. This is given to us. Let us assume that the first center is O1, the second center is O2, and this point of intersection is, say, A. If you are only looking at the triangle O1AO2, one side is 15 centimeters, another side is 20 centimeters, and the third side is 25 centimeters. Whenever you see 15, 20 and 25, you should immediately think of the Pythagoras triplet, because 15 square plus 20 square is 25 square. This would imply that this O1AO2, this is a right angle triangle. Now, if you are drawing a perpendicular from A to O1O2, if this meets it at B, what is the length of AB? Because if you are able to calculate the length of AB, the length of the common chord will be 2 times AB, because just by symmetry, if you are drawing this length and this length, and if you are joining this, if this is equal to, say, C, then BC will be equal to AB. So what we are essentially required to calculate is the length of AB. The length of the common chord is AC, which will be 2 times AB. So let us just calculate the length of AB, and then we are able to solve it. So for example, if you are drawing it like this is O1, O2 and A, this is the triangle. This is O1, this is O2, this is A. O1, O2 is 15 centimeters. O1A is 15 centimeters. O2A is 20 centimeters. And O1, O2 is 25 centimeters. If you are drawing a perpendicular from A to O1, O2, it comes something like this. If you are assuming that this is meeting at B, let the length of AB be equal to, say, X. But more importantly, let this angle over here be equal to some number, say, P. Now, what is the value of sine P? Sine P from the triangle AO1O2, like we discussed earlier, this is a right angle triangle, is equal to opposite side, which is O2A, which is 20 centimeters, divided by the hypotenuse, which is 25 centimeters. This is equal to 4 by 5. Now, if you are considering the right angle triangle ABO1, what is the value of sine P? Sine P is opposite side, which is AB, divided by the hypotenuse. What is the hypotenuse? It is AO1, which is 15. But sine P will be equal to 4 by 5. This would imply that AB is equal to 4 by 5 into 15, which is equal to 12 centimeters. So AB is equal to 12 centimeters. Like we discussed earlier, the length of the common chord AC is 2 times AB. Therefore, that will be equal to 24 centimeters. Let us look at the next question. Also, line drawn from the center of the circle to chord bisects the chord. I think that also is fine. I think you are correct, absolutely correct. That also is another way of looking at it. Guys, please do like the stream. I don't know how many likes we got on YouTube. I'm hoping that we have already crossed 100 likes. Otherwise, I'll be very disappointed. Guys, please do like it. We have only 67 likes. We have more than 100 people who are watching the stream live. Anjan Kumar Sahai saying our mocks are too tough and is getting irritated. तुम irritate हो रहे तो मैं क्या करूं? CAT 2023 was a tough paper and it makes sense to prepare for a tough situation. If you are taking mocks and if all the mocks are very, very easy, they're not going to help you quite a lot. I hope that in the examination, the exam is actually easy. I really hope that that comes true. But it is always better to be prepared for tough exams because the difficulty of CAT is increasing every year. Why is AB not the median? AB is not the median because the radius of both the circles are not the same. If the radius of both the circles are the same, then the perpendicular, so for example, over here you had O1, O2, this is O1, this is O2 and this is A. If you are drawing a perpendicular, if this length and this length are different, then this length and this length will be different. But if this is an isosceles triangle, if say O1A is equal to O2A, then these two also will be the same. But over here the radius of both the circles are different. Shikhar Saxena, I'll answer your question after solving this question. So in this question we are told that PQSR are points on the circumference of a circle and PQR is an equilateral triangle. So let us assume that this is the equilateral triangle PQR. This is P, this is Q, this is R, and this is S. We are told that PS is the diameter of the circle. This is PS. Now we are asked to calculate the perimeter of the quadrilateral PQRS. Now let us first join Q and S, and let us also join S and R. Now we know that this is an equilateral triangle. So if you are joining P and S, this angle will be 30 degrees because the angle of an equilateral triangle is 60 degrees. This diameter is going to, this also will be 30 degrees. Now once that is done, we know that this angle will be 90 degrees, this angle will be 90 degrees. How do we know that? Because in a circle, if you draw a diameter, it can be any diameter. If you draw one diameter and you join both ends of the diameter to any point on the circumference, it can be any point. It can be this point, it can be this point, it can be any point. If the same point is joined to both the sides of a diameter, then it will subtend 90 degrees. That is, this is a right angle over here. Similarly, this is a right angle over here. The diameter always will subtend 90 degrees at the circumference. So this angle Q will be 90 degrees. This angle R also will be 90 degrees. So now we are getting all the angles of two equilateral triangles. This is 60 degrees, this is 60 degrees. And the hypotenuse is the diameter, which is equal to 2R. So we can calculate the value of QS. Here we are basically having a right angle triangle like this. The hypotenuse is 2R. One angle is 30 degrees, another angle is 60 degrees. So this angle over here, this side over here will be R and this side over here will be R root 3. This would imply that PQ is R root 3, QS is R. Similarly, RS is R and PR will be R root 3. So the perimeter of this quadrilateral triangle will be 2 times R into root 3 plus 1, which is option A. Let us look at the next question. These questions I don't think are very difficult, man. They are difficult, but CAT 2023 was difficult than most of these questions. Again, I know that you might not like that, but that is a fact. That is a fact of life. That CAT 2023 was very difficult. CAT 2022 was difficult. CAT 2021 was less difficult. Every year, the quant questions are getting more and more difficult. That doesn't mean that CAT 2024 quant will be even tougher. That is not what I'm saying. It is possible that CAT 2024 will be actually easier than the last few years. That is possible, but it makes sense for us to be prepared for the harder eventuality than the easier one. Shikhar Saxena, I would recommend you to not have a lot of panic. Don't go for too much information. Normally, whatever information is needed, it will reach you about the earlier slot difficulty level. Even if you're not really searching, even if you're not obsessively searching, you will be able to figure it out. The second thing I would tell you is just lie down, be calm during the day, because when you're waiting for the examination, you will feel very tired. Just the wait itself is going to make you very tired. So ensure that you don't get tired by the time you take the examination. Guys, please do like the stream. We have only 85 likes. We should at least get to 150 likes before the stream ends. Don't panic, man. Somebody is saying that he's feeling disgusted when he's making silly mistakes. Sagar, see, don't use such strong words for yourself, because take it as just an examination, and in the examination it is just one question. Be mindful that it is okay, everybody is going to make silly mistakes, but you should avoid silly mistakes, and you should keep telling yourself that I don't want to make silly mistakes. But don't beat yourself up with it, because if you're beating yourself up with it, you will start doubting your own guesses. And then you will have to cross-check everything to ensure that you are not making any silly mistake, which will waste a lot of time. In this question, we are told that there is a square piece of cardboard. It is 10 inches and 4 equal squares are cut from the corner. So let us assume that this is the square. Now, let us assume that this is x and this is x, they are removed. Similarly, this is x and this is x, which is removed. Similarly, this is x and this is x, which is removed. And similarly, this is x and this is x, which is removed. So what are the sides of the remaining parts of the square? This will be 10 minus 2x. This will be 10 minus 2x. This will be 10 minus 2x. And this will be 10 minus 2x. Now, if you're looking at the box, and if you're folding up the box, you will essentially get a square at the bottom. This will be 10 minus 2x. This will be 10 minus 2x. This will be 10 minus 2x. And this will be 10 minus 2x. And the height will be x. Basically, if you are folding it up, this will be the square. It will look something like this. This, and this is the square. If this is A, B, C, D, this will be a cuboid. This will be A, B, C, D. And the height of the box will be this x. This x that you are actually folding up will be the height of the box. So what is the volume of this box? That will be 10 minus 2x whole square into x. And x, we are told, is an integer. So the values that x can take are, x is either 1, in which case the volume is 1 into 8 square, which is 64. Or x is equal to 2, in which case the volume is 2 into 6 square, which is 72. Or x is equal to 3, in which case this is 3 into 4 square, which is 48. Or x is equal to 4, in which case this is 4 into 2 square, which is equal to 16. Amongst these, the highest will be when x is equal to 2 and the volume will be 72 cubic units, which is option A. Let us look at the next question. Karan Kasliwal is saying, what value should we put in LRDA theta as a guesswork? Normally, when I look at the question, I don't randomly guess a theta answer. I spend at least say 10 to 15 seconds on the theta question to make an educated guess. So many times, if the question is something like, okay, how many arrangements are possible? In some questions, you get a question which is like, how many arrangements are possible? In that kind of a situation, I try to mark them as say either 2 or 3 or 6 or some number which mostly comes in these permutations and combinations. it won't be, for example, over here, I would not mark it as a 7, which is a prime number. Because many times in arrangements, it is possible that there will be two cases or two values possible for say one person. If it is like people are sitting around a table, in one particular seat maybe say 2 people can sit, and in other particular seat 3 people can sit. So overall the total arrangements will be 2 into 3. I'm just making an educated guess. That is how I would make some slightly educated guesses. Similarly, if you are told that you are asked, okay, in which round is this going to happen for the first time? Many times you are given games and tournaments kind of questions, where one of the theta question is in which round does it happen? Now, if you are going through the question and you figure out that overall, just by looking at the instructions without really solving it, you can figure out that, okay, there are a total of say 6 rounds. And if they're asking in which round does it happen for the first time, most likely it won't be round 1. Most likely it won't be round 6. So an educated guess will be either 2 or 3 or 4. And most likely in these kind of situations, I will put say round 3 and hope for the best. So all I'm saying is, don't completely give up or don't make completely random guesswork for theta questions. Go through the question, spend 10 to 15 minutes and make slightly educated guesses. The whole point is, if you are asked how many arrangements are possible and you are picking a random number, the possibility or the probability of you getting it correct will be like say 1%. But if you are looking at it, thinking about it and making an educated guess, like I mentioned, say instead of putting a prime number like 7, if you're putting an arrangement like say 6 or 2 or 3, the probability that you will actually get it correct is say 5%. Now, it is much better to have 5% as the probability of getting a guesswork correct than 1%. That's all I'm saying, and for that, you will have to spend 10 to 15 seconds and some intelligent guesswork for you to actually get it correct. Viku Matre is saying, what is an intelligent educated guess for number of arrangements that are correct? Many times I would put either 2 or 3 or 6 or even 4. I think is not a bad idea. Basically, I'm saying that you will have to figure out that if say it is a table and there is a table, there are like say 4 or 5 rows and you haven't really solved it, but you figure out that this is a table where there are say 5 people, A, B, C, D, E, they're wearing different shirts, etc., etc. They come in different cars, they belong to different cities, all of these things. But if say you are not able to figure out the values for B and C, many times you will be getting a value which is interchangeable between B and C. So then there are 2 cases. Similarly, if there is something interchangeable about say A and E, some attribute, maybe the city, then this also will be 2 cases. So overall number of cases will be 2 into 2, which is 4. That's why I'm saying that an educated guess for this kind of an arrangements question will be either 2 or 3 or 4, something like this. Don't make 7 or 5. Don't do those kind of things. In this question, we are told that there is a cube of side 12 centimeters, which is painted on all faces and then cut into smaller cubes, each of side 3 centimeters. So basically, we are going to get, we have a cube. Now you will have 1, 2 and 3, and you will have 1, 2 and 3. Let us assume that this is the cube, and when you are painting the outer side, you are painting over here, you are painting over here, you are painting over here, and you are painting over here. All the top sides have at least one side which is painted red. This also will have everything which is painted red, at least one side, this also and this also. The only cube which is completely inside will not have any side which is painted red. So this will be basically a cube of dimension 2 units. So the total number of smaller cubes that will be found will be 2 into 2 into 2, which is equal to 8, which is option D. How many people got it correct? 46 people got it correct. It's not a very difficult question. Let us look at the next question. Guys, please do like the stream. Atmakuri Niklesh is saying, I repent not marking 0 for all theta questions in CAT 2023 slot 1. Don't mark 0. Most likely 0 won't be the answer in a theta question. Vishwadij Ghosh is saying, sir, should I start preparing for CAT 2025 instead of CAT 2024, considering my age is 26 plus? Also unemployed after graduation in engineering. I would first ask you to try to fix that unemployment. Try to get a job. It is very, very important for you to get a job. I know that the market is tough. I know that the jobs are tough to get, but it is very important for you to stop that gap years If they continue to increase, it will be it will not look good on your resume. That is the first thing. Second thing is, if you have already applied for CAT 2024, take it. Try to make the best use of these remaining 2 weeks and take the examination. Even if you fail or even if you perform poorly, that is okay. It is still, in my opinion, a victory than not taking it. What I think will be terrible is if you convince yourself that I'm going to study very well for next year, so I won't take this examination. I think is a very bad mental space to be in. Because even if you take the examination and even if you score very poorly, suppose you get single digit marks, that also is a start. Because when you start taking mocks and if you get, say, the first mock you score 15 marks, even then you will feel better. You will feel that, okay, in the actual examination I scored single digit marks, I have improved. You will have some sort of a starting point. And you will also feel less nervous the next time. So definitely take the examination if you have actually applied for it. In general, I don't like it when people apply for the examination, but because of nervousness or because of panic, they don't attempt the examination. That fear of failure, I think, is very bad and you should definitely overcome it. Guys, please do like the stream. In this question, we have a tank which is measuring 150 into 120 into 100 centimeters cube. So what is the volume of the tank? It is 150 into 120 into 100, which is equal to 180, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 1, 2, 3, 4. This is the volume, and how much water is there in it? The water that is there is 128,1600. So what is the volume remaining? The volume remaining is, this is 0, 0, this is 4, this is 8, this is 1, and this is 5. Now this has to be filled by putting in porous bricks. What is the volume of each porous brick? It is 20 into 6 into 4. The volume of every porous brick is 48, 480. 24, 48, 480. Now out of this 480, what is told is that every porous brick, once it goes in, it will absorb 10% of its volume as water. So it is a porous brick, it will absorb some water. So this porous brick, whose volume is 480 centimeter cube, how much water does it absorb? It will absorb 48. So essentially, what is the extra space that it is covering up? The extra space that it is covering up is the difference between these two, which is 432. Because even if it is covering up 480, it is absorbing 48. So because by putting this brick, we are getting 480 centimeter cube extra, but we are losing 48 centimeter cube. So the extra volume that we are essentially getting is only 432. So how many such bricks are needed? That will be 518,400 divided by 432, which is equal to 1200 bricks. So the answer for this question is option B. Let us look at the next question. Shivansh, like Naveen is saying, focus on the 100 question videos. That will be very useful. If you are looking for last 30 days, previous year's questions, full length mocks or sectionals, I would recommend you to take at least 2 full length mocks in the last 30 days and focus a lot on solving previous year's questions. That is very useful. And in the middle, take some sectionals. So I would say the bulk of your time should go into solving previous year's questions, but you should at least take 2 full length mocks. And the number of sectionals you take is completely dependent on you. If you feel that you are not doing well in one section, like some people struggle in verbal, they can take verbal sectionals. But spend a lot of time in actually solving questions in these last 2 weeks. Shivansh, what should we follow for revision of quants? I would definitely recommend you to follow the revision playlist of Cracku, where we cover the entire syllabus. That will be very useful. Another very good resource for revising entire syllabus of quant is the stream that we are doing on November 16th. It will be a 5-hour marathon stream from 2 p.m. to 7 p.m. We'll be covering the full quant syllabus. I would recommend you to definitely attend it. It will be very, very, very useful for you. November 16th, that is Saturday, from 2 p.m. to 7 p.m. If you just attend this stream, I'm sure your marks will improve. Just on the basis of stream, you'll at least get 2 or 3 questions correct extra on the day of the examination. Guys, please do like the stream. We have more than 100 people who are watching the stream live and only 100 likes. Let us try to at least get to 150 likes before the stream ends. In this question, we are told that there is a metal cylinder. The height is 10 centimeters and the diameter is 14 centimeters. This is melted and recast into 2 cones in proportion of 3:4, keeping the same height as 10 centimeters. What will be the percentage change in the flat surface area before and after? Now, if you have a metal cylinder of radius r and height h, what is the volume of the cylinder? It will be pi r square into h. Now this, if you are substituting the numbers, this will be pi into r square is, if the diameter is 14 centimeters, the radius is 7 centimeters. So this is 49 into 10. So this is 490 pi. This is the original diameter, original volume. Now this original volume was divided into 2 cones in the ratio of 3:4. So the volume of the first cone will be 3 divided by 3 plus 4, that is 7 into 490 pi. And the volume of the second cone is 4 divided by 3 plus 4, that is 4 by 7 into 490 pi. So the volume of the first cone is 210 pi. The volume of the second cone is 280 pi. Now, if you are having a cone, if you are given the radius r and the height h, what is the volume of a cone? It will be 1 by 3 pi r square h. In this particular case, we are told that this is 1 by 3 into pi into r square into 10 is equal to 210 pi. So what is the value of r square for the first cone? It is 63. Similarly, for the second cone, 1 by 3 into pi r square h is equal to 280 pi, because the volume of a cone is 1 by 3 pi r square h. So 1 by 3 into pi into r square into 10, the height of both the cones is 10 centimeters, is 280 pi. So the value of r square for the second cone is 84. Now for a cone, what is the flat surface area? The cone, the flat surface area will be just the area of its base, which is basically pi r square. So the overall area, flat surface area of both the cones combined will be 63 pi, which is pi r square, plus 84 pi, which is 147 pi. But what was the original flat surface area? For a cylinder which is like this, there are 2 flat surfaces, one at the bottom, one at the top. The area for both is equal to pi r square. So the flat surface area is 2 pi r square. So originally the flat surface area was 2 into pi into 49, which is 98 pi. The original flat surface area was 98 pi. The new flat surface area is 147 pi. The increase is 147 minus 98, which is 49 pi, divided by the original flat surface area, which is 98 pi. This is equal to 50%. So the answer for this question is option D. Let us look at the last question for today. I think this was the last question. Rupali Rathor, Ankit Moore got 30 on 30. Very well done, guys. What strategy will you recommend for slot 1 students, like daily routine or daily strategy? First thing I would tell you is, take the mocks in the morning schedule at the same time at 8:30 a.m. The second thing is if your center is far away, try to book a hotel nearby so that you don't have to travel to the center. That will be another issue. Other than that, don't worry, don't panic. Slot 1 people, I would say, look at it as an opportunity. Many slot 1 people are very worried and very terrified that, okay, if there is a surprise, what will I do? But the way you have to look at it is, most of the people in your slot will panic because they're in slot 1, they're already worried that, okay, something new will come, something tougher will come, all of these things. If you don't panic, you can take advantage of it. So ensure that, make the best use of this opportunity because many of the people in your slot might panic. They are just going to panic even if it is the same paper as earlier or a similar paper or an easy paper. Many students in slot 1, because it is slot 1, they panic. If you don't panic, you are already starting off with an edge. So look at it that way. Who is saying why is slot 3 always tough? Good question. I think one of the reasons slot 3 is tough is because by that time, any surprise is already completely known. Like I mentioned earlier, slot 1 people, because they panic and if anything new comes, many people underperform. By slot 3, people already have these expectations that, okay, this section will be tough or that section will be tough or these are the kind of questions that are asked. So that information, when it percolates down, the nervousness of the students is lesser. So that is the reason I think many people tend to perform better in slot 3. But everything has pros and cons. Especially for slot 1 people, don't look at it as a disadvantage. You should look at it in the sense that many of your competitors, many of your fellow students, they are going to underperform just because they are panicking about slot 1. You don't panic, you will perform, you try to perform to the best of your ability, whatever you can actually do, hold your composure and do it. Then I think you will benefit quite a lot. It is actually, in my opinion, definitely an advantage to be in slot 1 because many of the people are going to underperform.